Last year, Subway's big campaign sounded familiar.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to go and find your parents.
Dude, I am a fully grown burger.
Right, yes, sorry. It's just from this angle, you look like a little...
Yes, just don't.
Yeah, no.
Leave it.
Honestly, mate.
I get it.
Can't apologise enough.
Hang on, don't I know you from somewhere?
Everybody's hobbling.
Yeah, he likes it.
Subway now has a bigger new ad that makes even less sense than Hubble. Ooh, most bouncing balls since the Speedo ad. Kieran, why is the bigger ad not better?
Look, I actually like the Hamish and Andy version that we showed before. It was
great.
It was great, yeah. So, I don't think it's bad. I'll start with that.
Well, you're wrong. It's absolutely bad. It's terrible. Look at it.
I mean, you watch it, you're like, am I going to hate Subway for it? Probably not. And the one thing there's two things actually that I'm like, they followed some rules of advertising and I think they at least stayed consistent. One, they really leaned into the brand colors. And that's come through, and they've owned them for a while now. And the whole time I'm watching that screen, I'm like, yeah, it's clearly a Subway ad just from that alone. And the other thing, I think they're clearly, the new line is what? Eat fresh, feel good. So they're trying to get through some emotional feeling here, and I'm going to go back to that whole sound thing. It's borrowed equity right from the song. They've picked something from a very long time ago that everyone immediately has an emotion of positivity attached to it, and they're at least leaning on those two levers. So, look, you walk away knowing it's a Subway ad. I feel good. I don't feel bad. I'm maybe different from your opinion on it.
I mean, you're allowed to have your own opinion.
Yeah.
But yours is wrong. That is a bad ad. Look at all of them sitting on those rubber monsters.
Yeah, it's a bit peculiar, but yeah, that's what I'm like. There's at least a few rules that they've ticked off for me.
See, I really like it, and maybe I am just a sucker for a banging track and some interesting visuals. So for me, this is all about expressing a feeling. And I love the fact that you don't see a sandwich and sloppy meatballs anywhere. This idea that it's if you eat fresh and you do feel good, this idea that you're kind of lively and energised, not having the 3 o'clock slump because you've had, a stodgy pie for lunch. I don't think you have to see that play out to actually buy in. And I kind of also love that they've spent time, money and energy executing something beautiful. Like they had to shut down the streets of Brisbane and wire people up onto these wild bouncing balls. I mean, yes, they've ticked the obvious boxes around a lot of green and yellow, but I actually think the spot works. And it actually also, by spending that money and time to create a spot of scale, I think it actually also elevates Subway, because it's always felt like the slightly poor man's fast food. Relative to the likes of KFC or McDonald's, who can actually spend millions on the regular in their advertising. So what I think this has done is, by going big, they've actually elevated themselves relative to their competitive set, and I actually think they've...
Russell, am I wrong? Is this good, is it?
No, this ad represents...
This is terrible.
It represents...
Look at it.
It represents a massive strategic shift for Subway.
Yeah, in the wrong direction.
It's actually not a small thing that they're doing here, because the expectation for Subway advertising is, now with extra salami, $4.85. I mean, that is how they've advertised forever. So it's been price-led, it's been tactical. And so what they're doing is they're saying, no, we're more than that. We're a brand. And what does a brand equal? A brand has got rational and it's got emotional. So we're going to eat fresh, rational, feel good, emotional. We're going to use the colours, have the soundtrack, create entertainment. It's classic. It's classic brand advertising from a brand that you wouldn't expect to do it. So no, it is...
Please help me.
I personally thought they were taking the piss with the Supertramp song. Can you put your hand on your head and say, oh no? Because that's what I thought when I saw that ad.
Todd and I have taken the red pill.
Yeah. So I think Subway has strategically completely lost their way. So their original positioning was healthy fast food, and it was a positioning within the fast food market. They positioned themselves as a healthier version of that. And then they had the Jarrett Hot Pants, turns out to be a child pornography offender, as their spokesperson for 14 years. And then they pull him, and I don't think they've ever recovered. So now they're kind of wobbling around. So they've got this thing called, what is it? Eat Fresh, Feel Good.
Yeah.
So they decided that Eat Fresh is probably not defensible. So let's just park that, and let's go for the most generic, somewhat useless brand positioning that you could have, which is feeling good. And they put that on air. No, I personally like Subway, eating it, but the advertising is, I can't eat that.
No, but they put Eat Fresh, Feel Good.
No, I know, but the ad's about feel good.
No.
It's a whole bunch of bloody people bouncing around on green balls with CGI.
But this could be like the Olympics are coming, go Australia. Like, it makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got nothing to do with Subway.
Which actually, I did think when I watched that, going, this is a really great tie-in to the upcoming Olympics, but that's an aside. I think the idea that, I think they know it's a bit cheesy. That is an intent. Like, they're not saying this is, so, you know, compared
Yes, but the best disguise for stupidity is acting stupid. Like, if they know, shame on you.
What?
If you want an actually bigger way to sell subs, I would have gone with this guy.